Nikhil, what are you picking up, both at the ICC end and Pakistan end? Does it appear that Pakistan is actually cutting its nose to spite its face?
Well, Gaurav, I couldn't have thought of a better phrase to actually say what's happening right now than the one that you've just quoted. Because if no matter which way you look at this entire fiasco, there's nothing that's going in Pakistan's favor. I think the only thing where they're hedging their bets on is that they might get some geopolitical benefit because they're extending a hand of friendship towards Bangladesh. I know on that front, and you're an expert on that, I think they've put all their eggs in the same basket, hoping that it will be the Mohammed Yunus government that will come to power in Bangladesh. So I think that's where they're going with this, because oftentimes I'm hearing a lot of people talk about this entire decision that has been taken by Pakistan as one taken by the Pakistani government, and maybe the Pakistan Cricket Board may not be on the same page. I'd like to remind them the Pakistani government and Pakistan Cricket Board is, de facto the same person, because the head of the Pakistan Cricket Board is also the interior minister of the country. So definitely they're on the same page taking this call. And then if you look at it, as I said, from any point, let's take a look at it from a cricketing perspective. What benefit is Pakistan going to get? None at all. What are the harms that Pakistan will have to deal with? Well, I can list a lot. Firstly, they're definitely looking at sanctions from the ICC, because they've not only taken the might of Board of Control for Cricket in India, the strongest board, but they've actually taken the rest of the cricketing world head on.
14-2.
Because what they're complaining at the moment, and the reason they're not playing the India encounter, is because of a third party, which is now Bangladesh, where they say that, listen, you have been unfair to Bangladesh by not allowing them to get that hybrid model that Pakistan and India avail the benefit of. So this is what they're coming up with. But they forget that this call wasn't taken by India alone. This call was taken by the rest of the cricketing world. 14-2 was the voting that happened. So Cricket Australia was part of that decision. England was part of that decision. West Indies, New Zealand, everyone was part of that decision. What does that do? That actually now isolates Pakistan. Not only will ICC now relook going forward Pakistan's participation in ICC tournament, not only would ICC put heavy financial penalties on Pakistan, because them not playing the India game for which they've signed on the dotted line will affect ICC's revenue. So someone will have to pay. It seems it could be Pakistan. And then even bilateral relations, PSL, all these other properties are going to be affected, because they can't be participating in bilateral cricket and PSL on their own.
Someone will
they
have
need
to
the rest
pay.
of the cricketing world. So on all front, to think of another phrase, maybe what? They've dug their own graves, shot themselves in the foot, anyone that you like.
Okay. So they've shot themselves in the foot, the Pakistani Cricket Board and their interior minister. But can Pakistan, since you mentioned PSL, can Pakistan sustain, its PSL or its cricket minus ICC and BCCI? What happens if others board are also, they decide to avoid Pakistan?
The short answer is no. I'm just going to quickly rattle off some numbers. 600 million is the yearly revenue of the ICC. India get a lion's share, so they should, because they get 80% of that revenue on the table. They get about 260 million from that 600, right? Pakistan, on the other hand, get about 35 million from the ICC kitty. Now, many might say, India 260, Pakistan only 35. So Pakistan has done well to hurt India, because India is losing out on about 260 million. Well, now you have to read the fine print. India may be losing out on that 260, not entirely that amount. India, Pakistan will be 40%. But even if you look at that entire revenue, India's total revenue per year is 2.5 billion. 260 odd million is about 10% of that. So where are you hitting India? 10% of their revenue. Pakistan, on the other hand, 35 million that they get from the ICC kitty, that's 70% of their yearly revenue, of which they get about 55 million. So who are you hurting more? Pakistan. Now to the PSL. PSL functions because of all those countries that I just mentioned. India doesn't send its player, but of course Australian players, English players, West Indian players, Kiwi players, they all travel. Now you have voted against the decision taken by these boards. You think these boards will give the NOC for rest of these players to participate in PSL. Not only that, let's talk about India. Even if those boards aren't keen to send players, or even at the last moment agree to send their players, let's not forget India will have the bargaining power, because these Australias, English, New Zealand, everyone that I mentioned, they rely on bilateral cricket with India, because that's where they get their big bucks. They want to play bilateral cricket with India. Now, if you are going to antagonize Indian cricket, which you already have now further by not playing, you think when I'm sitting on a negotiation table, if I'm BCCI with Cricket Australia, am I not going to put in a clause that, we'll play bilateral, I'll give you an extra test match to play, I'll give you an extra ODI series to play, so you can earn money, Cricket Australia, but be mindful of the players that you send for PSL. Be careful about that. Same to England, same to New Zealand. How will PSL then sustain? So if you look at it from Pakistan's point of view as well, lot to gain. And I've been to Pakistan, and I've met the cricket fans there. They love cricket as much as Indian fans. I think they are the ones that are going to lose out the maximum. And I would want them to question Mr. Naqvi as to say, what were you thinking when you took a call like that? Because you have killed Pakistan cricket. It was already in the doldrums. You're going to take them further south.